ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ श्रीमेधा दक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्ख्यपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Namaste everyone once again.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste. So we are now on the 21st sloka. So ready to chant?
Yes, good.
Yes.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Sri Bhagavanuvacha
Bhagavanuvacha
Antate katayishyami
Andate
Antate
Katayishyami
Katayishyami
Divyayatma Vibhutayah
Divyayatma
Divyayatma Vibhutimaya
Pradhanyatha Kuru Sreshta
Pradanyataka
Shrestha.
Nastyanto Vistarasya Me.
Nastyanto Vistarasya Me.
Good. So Arjuna requested Lord Krishna to enumerate all his glories so that he can take up any one of the glories of the Lord as an alambanam or support for meditating upon the Lord. And Arjuna asked for a list of such glories because according to his inclination, he can choose any one of them as alambana. And Lord Krishna accepts and he begins the enumeration of the glories from the 20th verse onwards. But before that, he clarifies to Arjuna that it will not be possible to enumerate all his glories because they are endless. We are in the 19th verse. I thought it was 21st. I'm sorry. So he says that it will not be possible to enumerate all the glories because they are endless. And therefore he says that he will list out some of the prominent glories which will be, is there an echo? Are you all able to hear me properly?
Yeah, now okay.
Okay.
Before that, there was echo.
There was echo, na?
Yes, please.
Okay. Namaskaram. So he says he will list out some of the prominent ones which will be good enough for Arjuna for the purpose for which he is seeking such a list. And Krishna, towards the end of the sloka, addresses Arjuna, Hey Kurusreshta. Thus he is pointing out that Arjuna, you yourself are one of my glories. In fact, next chapter he will say, Pandavanam Dhananjaya Asmi. That is one of the glories Krishna himself will point out. Dhananjaya refers to Arjuna. And therefore, Krishna is addressing Arjuna appropriately, Kuru Sreshta, the greatest among the Kurus, the Kuru family. And now, Krishna starts listing the extraordinary glories. And he starts enumerating his glories as the very Nirguna Chaitanyam itself. We will read the sloka number 20. Okay. Ahamatma Gudakeshah
Ahamatma Gudakeshah
Sarvabhutashayastitah
Sarvabhutashayastitah
Ahamadischa Madhyam cha
Ahamadischa madhyam cha
Bhutanamantame cha.
Bhutanam antameva cha.
So Anvaya is Hey Gudakesha Aham Atma Sarvabhuta Ashaya Stitah Aham Adihi cha Madhyam cha Eva cha Anta Bhutana. So Hey Gudakesha, O Arjuna, Aham Atma, I am the self, Sarvabhuta Ashaya Stitah, residing in the heart of all beings. Aham Adihi cha, I am the beginning. Madhyam cha, the middle. Eva cha Antaha, as well as the end. Bhutanam, of all the beings. So he says, O Arjuna, I am the self residing in the heart of all beings. I am the beginning, the middle, as well as the end of all beings. So the list begins here, verse number 20. And the list of Bhagavan's glory, it goes up to verse number 38. So practically 19 slokas are there. And Krishna, from his side, gives a very elaborate list. And while enumerating Bhagavan's vibhutis, Krishna wants to first talk about the vibhuti of Bhagavan as Nirgunam Brahma, which is the subtlest and which is the highest order of reality among the three orders of reality. And what is that? Chaitanyam is the fundamental glory and nature of God. Because Chaitanyam alone makes the entire living beings, all the species alive. If a plant is alive, animal is alive, if a human being is alive and capable of discussing this topic, it is only because of Chaitanya. Shrotasya srotram manaso manoyat. Every organ is an organ only because of the sentiency. And Krishna says that sentiency is my gift because I am Chaitanya Swarupaha, Chidrupaha. And this description we find in many Sahasranamas also. like Lalita Sahasranama, Vishnu Sahasranama, etc. Various glories of Maya also are described. So Krishna starts with Chaitanya Vibhuti in these words. Therefore, what is the content of our meditation now? That I am alive, that my very life is the manifestation of Ishvara Vibhuti. Therefore, I must respect my life. And not only I respect my life, I should respect every life. This is one of the fundamental principles. Respect life. And because of our respect for life alone, ahimsa becomes paramo dharma. Because I see every living being as endowed with God's gift of life. I am able to perceive the glory of Chaitanyam in every living being. And therefore, I revere life. And therefore, my aim is to avoid himsa, or at least minimize himsa. That is why non-vegetarianism is condemned and vegetarianism is glorified, because of the fundamental principle of reverence for any form of life. Therefore, the first glory is Chaitanya. And then the last glory also Krishna will say, Nirguna Ishvara Vibhuti. That will be there in the 38th sloka. And what is that? He will say, I am not only Chitrupaha, I am Satrupaha also. Sattvaswarupam. The very existence principle because of which I am able to say the table is, the chair is, the pen is, the book is, I am, etc. That isness in everything is the existence principle of Brahman. Therefore, when we say a pot is, the very isness of the pot is borrowed from clay, the material cause only. Clay is, so the pot is. If you remove the clay from the pot, there will be no pot. Of course, you cannot actually remove the clay from the pot, but cognitively you can remove. So clay is the cause and pot is the effect. Therefore, an effect does not have its own existence. It exists only by borrowing existence from the cause. Similarly, Bhagavan is the cause. World is the effect. Bhagavan manifests in the world as the very existence. Whenever we say space is, air is, earth is, etc., that isness belongs to Bhagavan. And when the whole creation resolves, only the Nama Rupas, the names and forms will resolve. The isness, the existence will go back to Bhagavan only. It is just like, when a golden bangle or a chain, etc., are melted, do they vanish? The name and form as bangle or chain vanishes, no doubt. The bangle is resolved, chain is resolved. But where does the existence go? The existence will go back to the very gold itself. So at the time of origination of bangle, etc., it takes existence from gold, and at the time of destruction of the bangle, etc., the existence goes back to the gold. And therefore, Sadrupa Bhagavan is all over. And that is why, we see in Prahlada Charitram, When asked, Prahlada says Narayana can be found in a pillar or even in a dust particle. In Tamil it is said, he says, Tunilum iruppar, Turumbilum iruppar. And he refers to this easiness of all the objects in the world. And Krishna will end the enumeration of his glories with this Sadrupa Vibhuti. So two main glories of Bhagavan is Chidrupa Vibhuti and Sadrupa Vibhuti. Krishna starts with Chidrupa Vibhuti in verse 20 and he concludes with Sadrupa Vibhuti in verse number 38 or 39, if I don't remember. So the best form of meditation is Satchit Rupena. Any object or person in the universe can be taken as a symbol for meditation, because either existence will be there or existence plus consciousness will be there. This is the best form of meditation on Nirguna Brahman. But Krishna feels that there will be a problem. He knows that this existence is an abstract concept, very difficult to conceive separate from the object. And consciousness also is an abstract concept. And therefore, he comes down a little. He says the ideal will be to meditate as Sat and Chet. But if you find that your intellect is not subtle enough, intellect is not sharp enough, he says, I will come down to concrete objects of meditation, concrete glories, tangible glories, experienceable glories. So Nirguna Mahima in the beginning and end, and Saguna Mahima in the middle. That is Krishna's approach. And with this background, we will discuss the following slokas. Okay. Now look at sloka number 20. Krishna addresses Arjuna as what? Hey Gudakesha. Gudakesha means the one who has conquered tamoguna, laziness and sleep. The derivation of, grammatical derivation of Guda is Nidra alasyam indriyani va tasya ishah Guda. Means Nidra, sleep. Alasyam, laziness. Alasyam indriyani, laziness of the organs. Both karmendriyani and jnanendriyani. What does this indicate? In short, tamoguna, a dull intellect. Tasya Isha. Isha means the master, the conqueror. The one who has conquered the dullness. The one who has conquered the tamoguna. He is a Gudakesha. Because the worst obstacle for spiritual pursuit is this tamoguna. Tendency to be lazy, postpone things, falling asleep at the drop of a hat, etc. And such a person can easily get bored with this teaching. In fact, if you go to the actual class, we are on Zoom, so we won't be able to, but I won't be able to observe all the students. And most of them are all on, muted their video also. But if you actually go to a classroom, Vedanta classroom, like in a Gurukulam and all, I went, we can actually see some students yawning in the class. That means even though their eyes are open, the brain is about to go to sleep. So they will be, by force sitting in the class. And I was not a, exception for this. Initial stages, everybody will have this. When you listen to all these concepts of Vedanta and things like that and all, which you can't relate to Satrupa, Chidrupa, nothing you can relate to. Getting bored and yawning is a natural tendency. So what I did, in order to keep myself awake, I took my laptop and literally used to type out every word that Swamiji speaks. Wherever he goes little fast, I will make a mark there so that later on I can listen to the recording and then fill it up. So by keeping my attention, my concentration on listening and typing, even though while typing I will not understand anything what is being spoken, but mechanically I will go on typing, but that helped me in avoiding all this yawning and sleeping in the class. Therefore, Krishna knows Sarva, he is a Sarvajnani, he knows Arjuna is not like that. Arjuna, for the past 9 chapters and also into the 10th chapter, he has developed enough Sadguna and has conquered Tamoguna. So he says, hey Arjuna, I take you to be an advanced student with a sharp and subtle intellect. And if you have such an intellect, then ideal meditation would be on consciousness. So Krishna says, hey Arjuna, Gudakesha, since you have conquered Tamoguna, you look upon me as the very consciousness. And how to meditate on consciousness? By recalling the description of consciousness, which we have often discussed before. I hope you all remember the description. The famous description of Swami Paramathananda. Consciousness is not a part, property, or product of the body. Consciousness is an independent entity pervading the body and enlivening the body. Consciousness is not limited by the boundaries of this body. And consciousness survives even when the body dissolves. Such an abstract, formless, colorless, dimensionless consciousness, I hope you can meditate upon. And where is that consciousness? He says, Sarva Bhuta Ashaya Stitaha, which is there in the mind of every living being. Ashaya means mind. Stitaha means abiding, indwelling, residing in Sarva Bhutaha. Not just in every human being, but in the mind of every living being, including animals, plants, insects, worms, whatnot. Therefore, in my mind, in your mind also, Bhagavan is there in the form of Atma, the witness consciousness. And what does it witness? It witnesses the presence of thoughts. And it also witnesses the absence of thoughts. When I say I have thoughts, I am aware of my thoughts. And when I say my mind is blank, the mind is also cognizant of that blankness because of that Chaitanyam. That very Chaitanyam I am. So, Sarva Bhuta Ashaya Stitaha. This is the Chidrupa Vibhuti which Krishna reveals in the first line of the sloka. And then from the second line onwards, Krishna reveals Saguna Vibhutis. He says, Aham Adihi cha Madhyam cha Bhutanam Antah eva cha. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of this creation. Beginning means Srishti Karanam. Middle means sthiti karanam, and end means laya karanam. I am the cause of the creation which existed in the beginning. I am the sustaining principle of the creation because of which alone the world enjoys existence, and I am the cause into which the world resolves. We can say the clay is the beginning, middle, and end of all pots. So before origination of the pot, clay was there. Therefore, clay is Adihi. And when you destroy the pot, what will be there? Again, clay will be there. Antaha. And in middle also, when you are talking about the pot, even though you do not use the word clay whenever you are handling a pot, but you recognize that the pot is essentially nothing but clay. And therefore, clay was there before the creation of the pot. Clay is there during existence of the pot. And clay will be there after the destruction of the pot. And therefore, he says, Karanam exists in the past, present, and future. And therefore, Krishna says, I am being Jagat Karanam. I was, I am, and I ever will be. People will come and go, but I ever am. And this has got a practical psychological significance also. Since Bhagavan alone is permanently there, if you want security, you have to hold on to Bhagavan alone. If you hold on to anything else other than Bhagavan, after some time that will give way, and we will lose the sense of security. So holding on to any created thing will not give me security. And therefore, the fundamental attitude of a religious person is in God alone. I am willing to love all the people. I am willing to share things with all the people. And if anybody asks, what is your security? A devotee will never name anyone else. He will not say, my wife is my security, my son is my security. Wife will not say, my husband is my security. He will not say, my parents are my security. He will not even say NSG, black cats. None of them can give security. Any amount of money that you have got in mutual funds, invested in mutual funds, banks, etc., they can't give you security. Because they are of what nature? Impermanent nature, ephemeral nature. Therefore, the only security is the permanent one, and that permanent one is Bhagavan alone. And this is the fundamental training required. We have to train our mind. If you hold on to anything else, there will always be the fear. Whether the son will take care of me in the old age. As of now, my son seems to be very good. But after marriage, who knows? Priorities change, attitudes change, strength of relationship changes. And son is only an example. Even in the case of a spouse, when you are young, there is romance and dependence on each other and whatnot. As you grow older, same thing happens. Priorities change, attitudes change, strength of relationship changes. Most of the people, and there could be exceptions. And therefore never hold on to anyone except Karanam. The anchor for the ship of life is the Lord alone, especially for a human being. Aham Adihi Srishti Karanam, Madhyam Sthiti Karanam, Antah Laya Karanam. Of what? Bhutanam, of all the things and beings, of all the sentient and inert beings. And Krishna continues. You can all unmute 21st sloka. They again, I think. The echo is coming, huh? No, it is gone now. Adityanamaham Vishnuho
आदित्यानामहं
Adityanamaham
विष्णुः
Vishnaho
Jyotisham Raviramshuman
ज्योतिषां
Jyotisham
नित्यं सुमान्
Varimamsumam
Marichir Marutam Asme
मरीचीनां
Maritir
वृतामस्मि
Varuma Yasmi
Nakshatra Shashi.
नक्षत्राणामहं शशिः
Nakshatranamaham.
So the Anvaya is Adityanam Aham Vishnu, Jyotisham Amshuman Ravihi, Marutam Marichihi Asmi, Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. Very simple Anvaya, straightforward. Adityanam, among the Adityas. Aham Vishnu, I am Vishnu. Jyotisham, among the luminaries. Anshuman Ravihi, I am the radiant sun. Marutam, among the Maruts. Marichihi Asmi, I am Marichi. Nakshatranam, among the luminaries of the night. Aham Shashi, I am the moon. So I am Vishnu among the Adityas. I am the radiant sun among the luminaries. I am Marichihi among the Maruts. And I am the moon among the luminaries of the night. So now Krishna enumerates various things and beings in the creation, which are very well known to us as great things. And Krishna says all those glorious things of the creation are nothing but my own manifestation. And what is the first thing Krishna enumerates? Adityanam aham Vishnuhu. And while enumerating some of the Laukika Vibhutis, the glories which are obtaining in the world, that is Ihaloka Vibhutis, he is pointing out those glories which we can experience. Of course, there are many other glories based on Puranas and other scriptures. And in the scripture, they talk about various devatas in the heavenly world. And among the devatas, the most popular one is Aditya. Dwadasha Adityas, the 12 Adityas are talked about. And they say these 12 Adityas, the heavenly devatas, are the 12 faces of sun god. So even though the sun is one, the sun we experience varies from month to month. You would have observed the January sun is benign, but the sun of May and sun of June, I don't need to say, every part of India you go, whether it is Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Chennai, Bangalore, everywhere we know how ferocious the sun is. Therefore, Dwadasha Adityas represent the Devatas presiding over the sun, the 12 suns obtaining in the 12 months. And they are considered to be important Devatas. In fact, in the scriptures, this is one version. Enumerate 33 main Devatas. Dwadasha Adityas, Ekadasha Rudraha, Ashta Vasavah. So 12 Adityas, 11 Rudras, and 8 Vasus. That's why Vasurudra Aditya. Familiar Vasurudra Adityas? Actually, we visualize our ancestors in terms of these 3 types of Devatas. We visualize our parents as Vasurupa. We visualize our grandparents as Rudra Rupa. We visualize our great-grandparents as Aditya Rupa. Those people who regularly do Shraddham, Amavasya, Tarpanam and all, they will know. If you had not known this interpretation earlier, at least now you will, whenever you are doing a Tarpanam, you can recall this meaning. So as I said, Rudra Aditya Rupan Pitras, Vasurudra Aditya Rupan Pitras are repeatedly enumerated. And those people who follow Vedic Karma Kanda, for them, these groups of Devatas are very well known. So if you add them, how many you get? 12 plus 8, 20, plus 11, 31. Then Indra Devata and Prajapati Devata put together 33 Devatas. That is why when you do the Homam in Shraddha Karma, along with offering oblations to all these Devatas, Vasurudra Aditya Devatas, in the form of Pitrupitamaha, Prapitamaha, we also offer an oblation to what? To which Devata? Indraya Namaha, Prajapatyay Namaha. So putting together, all together, 33 Devatas are supposed to be the main Devatas who receive oblation during the rituals. Therefore, they are called Havirbhuk Devatas. In fact, the scriptures give the names of these 12 Adityas also. They are Indra, Dhatri, Parjanya, Twashtri, Usha, Aryaman, Bhaga, Vivaswan, Vishnu or Vamana, Amshuman, Varuna, and Mitra. These details are all available in Karma Kanda and in the Puranas also. And in fact, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says that these 33 Devatas alone multiply themselves into 33 crore Devatas, which of course is very well known and often spoken of. And therefore, Krishna takes them first. He says, among the 12 Aditya Devatas, I am Vishnu. I am Vishnu Devata. And why are these Devatas called Adityas? Well, according to Puranas, they are all born to Aditi, which is the name of their mother. Aditi Putra hai Aditya hai. And among them, I am Vishnu. Because Vishnu is what? Vamana Avatara was born as Aditi Putra. In the Puranas, we get this description. And therefore, I am Vamana Rupa Vishnu among the Aditi Putras. Adityanam aham Vishnuhu. Then Jyotisham Amshuman Ravihi. Among the luminaries, Jyotihi means luminaries in the sky, consisting of stars, planets, and of course the sun. Krishna says, among them I am the sun god, Ravihi. Among the luminaries I am Ravihi. And what type of Ravihi? Amshuman, with brilliant, powerful rays of light. Amshuhu means Rashmi. Amshuman means Rashmiman, the one who is endowed with Rashmi. In fact, this description we find in Aditya Hridayam. Rashmimantam samudyantam samridhyantam devasura namaskritam pujayasva vivasvantam bhaskaram bhuvaneshwaram. So Rashmimantam samridhyantam. So the sun god is very much adored in our tradition. In fact, in Sandhya Vandanam, in Trikala Sandhya, we invoke the Lord in the sun only. And even scientifically, we know that without the sun, the planets will not survive. Our own survival is because of the glory of the sun. And this glory is brought out in Aditya Hridayam, which is a part of Valmiki Ramayana, a special work in which the sun god is glorified. In fact, Aditya Hridayam is supposed to be a very glorious work, which is capable of giving all types of blessings rather. In Ramayanam, Agastya Rishi came and taught Aditya Hridayam to Rama before the fight with Ravana. And he gave this Upadesha to Rama for both material victory as well as spiritual victory. And therefore, Aditya Hridayam is a wonderful prayer for materialistic people also, for getting health, for getting money, for getting victory in examination. Children can chant that. For spiritual students also, it is supposed to be a wonderful prayer. In fact, to share with you a personal information, the very first, I should say, sloka I learned from my mother was this Aditya Hridayam, when I must have been some 11 or 12 years old. And my mother advised me that this is a very powerful sloka. So you memorize it, chant it every day. And you won't believe, since that age till today, every day I chant Aditya Hridayam while taking bath. Because that is the time, bath time, instead of singing some cinema songs and things like that and all, even that time you are with the God. Because there is the Agamarshana Sutram which you are supposed to chant while taking bath. I have not learned that Agamarshana Sutram. But it doesn't matter. God in any form, if you actually visualize and keep on remembering, it's okay. And honestly speaking, I personally feel that whatever I have got in life, whether materialistically or education-wise, even spiritually, it is because of that singing the glories of Aditya, as advised by as advised by Agastya Muni to Lord Rama. So thus the sun is glorified very much in tradition. And therefore Krishna says, I am the sun. Pratyaksha Ishwara. Sun God is one Ishwara whom we can see every day throughout the daytime. And that is why in our tradition, when the sun is rising and is coming to bless us, we should be fresh and ready to welcome the Lord. And that is why they say we should wake up before the sunrise. And this is universally accepted. And that's why we have the proverb, early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Unfortunately, now the philosophy has changed. What with late night TV shows, web browsing, mobile chats, etc. Now the new proverb is late to bed and late to rise makes a man unhealthy, unwealthy, and unwise. Therefore, we are supposed to get up before sunrise. Welcome the sun, the Pratyaksha Ishwara. And therefore, Aham Amshuman Ravihi. I am the sun god. This is one of my glories, says Krishna. Then he says, Maruta Marichihi Asmi. These Maruts are another group of devatas known as Marut devatas. So it appears that there are different colonies in the heavenly world. So in the heaven, different types, different colonies are there, supposed to be there. This is all this is all based on what Swami Paramathananda says. So if you have got any doubt about all these things, please go and ask Swami Paramathananda. I know only so much as I have learned from him.
Yes, today he has said you fix an appointment and come anytime to meet me.
Oh, he said, okay.
Today's message.
Okay, good. So any of you who are in Chennai, or whenever he goes to either Bangalore or Coimbatore and all, you can fix an appointment with him and go and meet him and get all your doubts cleared.
He never goes to Bangalore now. He only to
Oh, yeah,
Coimbatore once a
Bangalore he
year.
has stopped since last year. Yeah, correct. Only
2 years.
Coimbatore and Chennai. Yeah, that's true.
Only Coimbatore he comes 1 week.
1 week, yeah. Oh, that 1 week is a very pretty busy week for him, where so many people will invite him for Bhiksha and all that. But best place is Chennai. When you go to Chennai, you can
But
call it.
he never goes to anyone's Bhiksha now.
Let's see.
But he never travels to anyone's Bhiksha now. After next year, we don't know because his leg is okay now.
Yeah, but what happened last time in Coimbatore was
He was staying in Ramchandran's house
and Avinashi and all, they took the Bhiksha and gave him there.
Avinash, Ramchandran's house only they were giving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ah.
So he will not be going, but that he will be busy with that, I mean, if somebody is giving Bhiksha, whether he goes to their house or they come to him and give Bhiksha, it's all the same. Anyway, so what I'm saying is, there must be, different colonies and all there. And each one different types of benefits. And depending upon the amount of punyam that we have done, we will be transported to one of those colonies. And maybe in one colony, 24-hour purified water supply will be there. At least a promise of that will be there. Like initial stages, this Nana Nani people said, we will give you 24-hour RO purified water. Now I don't know whether they are actually doing it or not. In other, cities or in the heaven, maybe 12 hours. In some colonies, it was centralized air conditioned. Some have a swimming pool, gym, tennis courts, etc. So different facilities in different colonies. And depending upon the punyam, you will become one of the devatas and allotted residence in one of the colonies. And among those, a set of devatas called Marudgana hai. They are 49 in number. Sapta Sapta. 7 groups of Maruts, and in each group there are 7 Devatas. And they are supposed to preside over the Vayu Tattva. So there are different types of Vayu Devatas presiding over the wind. And Krishna says, among those 49 Marut Devatas, I am Marichihi. Marichihi is the Devata who presides over that beautiful, soothing breeze, which will make us feel very pleasant. Marichi means the tender, beautiful breeze, not the cyclonic storm. The kind of cool breeze that we get when we go to a waterfall or on a seaside during the sunset, and even, hills and mountains, etc. In the evening time, such nice breeze blows. That cool, gentle, pleasant air conditioning breeze is presided over by Marichi Devata. And Krishna says, I am that Marichi Devata among all the Marut Ganas. But each of those Devatas have their own glories. But if Krishna starts talking about all of them, each glory, the Bhagavad Gita will never end. That is why right in the beginning he says, I will only take up few of the glories, most important glories among the population of all glories. So I am Marichi among the Marut Ganaha. Then he says, Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. Among the night luminaries, Nakshatram. Nakshatra means the luminaries of the night. I am the moon. Shashi means moon. So what are the luminaries of the night? Stars are there, planets are there, moon is there. Among all of them, the most brilliant and attractive one is the moon. And therefore, I am in the form of Chandra, Shashi. And therefore, we worship Chandra Devata as manifestation of the Lord. In fact, in our tradition, the festival of Purnima is celebrated every month on the day of Chaturdashi of Shukla Paksha. Masi Paurnami, famous festival in Tamil Nadu. Then we have Ashada Purnima, Guru Purnima, etc. Almost you will find 12 months, the Purnima, Paurnami, some festival will be there. And even, romantically also, the moon is considered to be very beautiful because, the people who are romantically attached to each other, usually the man will say to the woman, your face is like the moon. Isn't it? I think some songs are also there comparing the face to a moon and all. Anyway, so Krishna says, Nakshatranam Madhye Aham Sashi, I am the moon. And then he continues with the list. Unmute yourself. Vedanam Sama Vedosmi.
Vedanam
Vedanam Samayodesmi.
Devanamasmi Vasavaha.
Devanam
Devanamashmi
Devanamasti
Vasapah.
Vasaraha.
Indriyanam Manaschasmi.
Indriyanam
Indriyanam
Indriyanam Manasa Chasmi.
Manaschanti.
Bhutanamasmi Chetana.
Bhutanam
Bhutanamasmi
Bhutanasmati
Chetana.
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 Again, simple, straightforward Anvaya. Vedanam Samavedaha Asmi. Devanam Vasavaha Asmi. Indriyanam Manaha Asmi. Bhutanam Chetana Asmi. Vedanam. Among the Vedas. Samavedaha Asmi. I am Samaveda. Devanam, among the devatas. Vasavaha asmi, I am Indra devata. Indriyanam, among the senses. Manaha asmi, I am the mind. Cha, and. Bhutanam, in all beings. Chetana asmi, I am the intelligence. So I am Samaveda among the Vedas. I am Indra among the Devatas. I am the mind among the senses. And I am the intelligence in all the beings. Vedanam Samavedaha asmi. So the Vedas themselves are the most sacred literature directly coming from the Lord Himself. And therefore all the Vedas are glorious. But among the Vedas themselves, the most glorious one, according to Krishna, is Samaveda. Samavedis who are there in the class will be happy to read this. Whether they remember any other sloka of Gita or not, they will proudly remember this sloka and may even playfully taunt the Rig Vedis and Yajurvedis that their Veda is superior, or their Veda, that is the Rig Veda and Yajurveda, are inferior to Samaveda. Because Krishna is glorifying Samaveda has his very own manifestation. Of course, we must not understand that it does not mean that other Vedas are not. But among them, he supports Samaveda. And why does Krishna choose Samaveda? Because Samaveda is the only Veda which is musical in nature. When other Vedas are chanted, they have got only 3 swaras. But the Samaveda has got all the 7 swaras. And therefore, being musical, it is more attractive if it is chanted properly. If a person chants the Samaveda properly, it is very beautiful to listen. And in fact, in all big rituals, Samaveda chanting is necessary, compulsory. In fact, there will be one priest of Samaveda who would have learned to properly chant Samaveda. And therefore, Krishna claims, I am the Samaveda among the 4 Vedas. And then Devanam Vasavaha Asmi. Among the Devatas or deities, among those jivas who have become Devatas because of their punya, we must remember 2 nomenclatures that we use in the scriptures, Ishvara and Devata. We can say God, one is God with G, with uppercase, capital. Other is God with lowercase, small letter. So God with uppercase G is the Lord, Maya Sahita Chaitanyam, who is Sarvanyaha, Sarveshwaraha, Srishti Sthiti Layakarta. Then we use the word God with small g. They do not come under Ishvara Tattvam. All of those gods are jivas only. They have not gone through Sravanam, Mananam, Nidhyasanam. They are exalted jivas, all right, occupying the heavenly world. And because of their punyam, they have got higher powers. But they do not come under the definition of the Lord. We call them devatas, and they also come under the category of ajnanis and samsaris only. Because of the punyam, they have gone to the heavenly loka, and because of their punyam, they have got some supernatural powers, and they have got some enjoyment. But we should remember, Chine punye Martyalokam Vishanti. Once their punyam is exhausted, they will be back in Bhuloka, born as human beings or animals or plants, or even lower lokas depending upon their maturing prarabdha. So here, when Krishna says Devanam, he is talking only about superior jivas, whom we call also celestials. So among them, he says, I am Vasavaha, Indra Devata, who is supposed to preside over heaven. Okay. More we will see in the next lesson time.
Dhanyawada.
Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate Om
Om
Shanti
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 Harihi
Hari
Om Shri
Om Shri
Gurubhyo
Gurubhyo
Namaha
Namaha
Harihi Om.
Hari Om.
Dhanyawada everyone. Thank you very much.
Hari Om Guruji. Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank
Hari
you.
Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Guruji.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guruji, when you mentioned about the moon,
Hari
I'm reminded of the Chaudhary-ka chant.
Ah, correct. I had in my mind that some song is there comparing the face to a moon, but I couldn't recollect immediately. Yeah, that's a Chaudhary.
Mannade.
Mannade. And that movie also, you know, that I think it was Wahida Rahman and Guru Dutt movie.
Correct, right. Yes.
Chaudhary Ka Chand is the name of the movie, I think.
Movie. I think I saw it in Delhi when I was a school
Yeah,
student.
yeah. I have also seen, I think in the theater, in the TV also and all, I've seen that long back. Yeah, true. That was what I think I had in mind, that description of the face of the fiancé, you know, the lover.
Correct.
So Chaudhary Ka Chand. And Chaudhary Ka Chand is the most, important. Not the Paurnami Chand, Chaudhary Ka Chand, the 14th day moon.
14th day.
Yeah. Chaturdashi moon is very important. Anyhow.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Thank you.
Namaskaram.
Thank you. Thank you.
Namaskar.
Yes, Ramuji.
2-3 points.
Yeah.
Last time when Swamiji had Paramarthananda had come, I had gone to that Ramchandran's house on the invitation of
Avinash.
Avinash. And at that time I had taken Chakavayada prepared by me, and he enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I told him. Second thing, you talked about
Gave it to
taking
me also. It was very nice.
yeah, and taking bath. You talked about chanting Aditya Hridayam. In fact, in Purandaradasa Kriti, that is there. He says, you might have heard that in Bhajan. Navige Iruvaga, that sloka he says, Pranapana Japa Tapagalu Maduda Krishna Yana Bharate.
Yeah.
Mandakini Edu Sallapa Maduda Krishna Yana Bharate. He says that. Whatever that time you do it. And third thing, regarding the description of the science, the moon's face and all these things, Swami, the nature, Venkatraman in his last talk at Ram Mandir, that Kodandarama Swami temple, he says there's a problem is because of these all kavis who compare the wives, ladies' things to the moon and all. They create a moha and all these things. Why do they do it? And this is the, what we call, not he was saying that, he says, Bhartrihari in his Vairagya Sadakam moons. Why the kavis do that? To create a maya. He says that. In his last, second Bhajagovindam series.
Yeah.
There he had a last one something at that and that.
When you look
Okay.
at Maya also, you must then understand that that is also supported by consciousness only, isn't it?
In Malayalam also they say, Mannavendra Vilangannu Chandrane Pol Ninmugam.
Yes, correct. So that is the idea Krishna also brings in, I mean, first of all, if you actually expose people to what they experience day in and day out, and Krishna says, I am the manifestation. So you need not go to all those temples and all.
Okay.
Look at the moon and then you can visualize Bhagavan in that and perceive.
Okay.
That's all. Meditation is what is the purpose of this whole thing, isn't it?
Okay.
So you can meditate on the moon, no problem.
another point, I just, when you're talking about Vasurudra, I think that Vasurdhara is meant for that, I think.
Vaswadhara, yeah, possible.
Ah,
Possible.
possible. And just, it suddenly when you were talking, I just struck me.
That's true. But
Vasurdhara.
that Vasurudra, Aditya, they come together in Vaswadhara.
Ah,
I mean, I don't know whether that the Vaswadhara means that, or Vaswadhara means, you see, the word Vaswam also means cloth, dress.
okay. Hello,
So
Vasundhara.
Vaswadhara could be, they actually offer, a cloth piece with so many.
Yeah.
I will have to look at that exactly what is the
No,
derivation.
I just, it's the sudden
Yeah,
thought.
I mean, such doubt should come. Rather,
Yeah.
I've heard something, association.
Vasu and Rudra, it comes, no? Vasurudra, that's
No,
maybe.
it's only Vaswadhara.
Oh,
That's
okay.
only Vaswadhara. So
Okay.
we will check it. I will check it out. I mean, we can see.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. No problem. Okay. Hariyo. Any other question, comment?
Yes, Aditya Hridayam in 1962, during the Chinese aggression, we were getting thrashed.
Hmm.
Our losses were very heavy.
Yeah.
That time, Rajaji reproduced the entire Aditya Hridayam in Bhavan's journal, and he said, all of you recite Aditya Hridayam.
True. See, people give this advice. Most people don't take it seriously, but they have got, if you chant it regularly, because of course, three things are very important: regularity, consistency, and for a long period of time. This is
Definitely.
important. Once you do that, whether it is Samanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, systematically you have to study for a long period of time. Similarly, chanting these slokas and all, they will give their benefit. Even Vishnu Sahasranam,
Yes, yes.
they will give benefit 100%, provided we chant it the way it should be chanted. That is the thing. And most people, they chant it. People say, you chant Vishnu Sahasranam, you'll get that benefit, and they don't get that benefit. Reason? Because when they are chanting, their mind is not totally into that. Chanting means what? Mentally meditating upon that, which most people don't do, and then they complain we don't get the benefits. But if you are chanting it with all seriousness for the certain benefit, it certainly gives the phalam, the fruits. That is my personal experience. I'm telling you. See, I'll tell you another. Since it's satsang, I can share that. I have been wanting to teach Bhagavad Gita. Initially, when I started Tattva Bodha and all that, I wanted to teach Bhagavad Gita, but I didn't have the confidence. Right? I mean, Bhagavad Gita, 700 shlokas, I don't know how much time it will take and all. So, as a starting measure, what I did, I started every day evening after Sandhya Vandanam, chanting one chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day. Initially, I did it for a month, so it took me 18 months to complete, even 19 months, because sometimes, the last chapter has got some 72 or odd shlokas. So once it takes time, so I used to split it.
78.
78. So 40 and 38, I used to chant.
Split it.
So split it. So 19 months initially I did. Then after some time, I reduced that 1 month to 1 week. So every chapter, I started chanting 1 week. For a week, one chapter. Then it goes on 19 weeks, and then again second round, third round. Like that, I don't know how many rounds I have done. But what it has given me, it has given me the confidence to teach Bhagavad Gita. Like that, I mean, so many things I can say. Similarly, I started, when I wanted, before going to the ashram, to the Gurukulam, I wanted, to get the blessing of Dakshinamurti. So I didn't do any puja and all at the time. I used to only chant shlokas in the morning after Sandhya Vandana. And Dakshinamurti Stotram every day is chanted. Then I went to Gurukulam. There every day morning, Dakshinamurti Archana used to take place, Abhishekam used to take place. And then I got used to it. And after that, I converted the sloka reading to Archana. So every day, 108 namas of Dakshinamurti, I do Archana even today. What that has given me? The confidence to teach Vedanta. And the teaching is not, I am not saying I am telling you all this. When I am teaching, I am actually, except for the teaching time, meditating on Vedanta thoughts only. Because while preparing for this, referring to this notes, that note, Swami Paramatmananda, these notes, Swami Sadatmananda, these notes, Swami Dayanand Saraswati's notes and all, the thought is with Vedanta only, with that particular idea. And I want to be sure that first I understand, I assimilate that idea fully before I actually, speak it out. So it is nothing but Nididhyasanam only for me. Preparation for these classes is nothing but Nididhyasanam. And that is actually, going on and on and further reinforcing my understanding of this entire thing. So all these things, one by one, I can give you example, all are very, very, very useful. They are true. They're all Satya. And works. Personally, I can vouch, in my case, everything has worked.
Excellent.
That is what it is.
And we are the beneficiaries now, slowly, indirectly.
So same thing I do for transcription.
Yeah.
It
That's
is,
all.
so many times it is a revision, Nididhyasanam, and especially when I do with the color coding and all, I have to be more
Correct.
time is that only. 24 hours my PC will be on.
Busy with that only. Exactly. 24 hours, all waking hours, busy with this one.
Last 15 years it is happening like that. Since 2012 March it is happening, Swamiji's transcriptions.
Thanks to you, Ramuji, we are able to teach.
Yeah, we are lucky and blessed.
We are lucky because that script is available for me to refer to. Otherwise, if I have to listen to the talks, the videos or audio.
That was the point. My transcribing started transcribing. When I started listening to Swamiji's talk, I found that he doesn't publish anything.
Yeah.
And it is very difficult to pinpoint that from the audio.
Correct.
So that's why I started typing it.
It's a very, very helpful thing. In fact, I should thank Avinashi also, because he started that website.
Yeah.
And put all these texts on that.
Yeah.
So, it's a team effort, joint effort rather. All having the same goal.
In fact, that Bhagavad Gita itself, last 7-8 years, more than 50,000 copies have been downloaded.
Yeah. That's true. Anyhow.
Good.
So
Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaskar.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much.
Hari Om, thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hari Om, Guruji.
Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om, Guruji. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.